Sure. Can you go from the other side?
All at once.
No.
At once or no?
Yeah, all of at once.
Okay.
Yes.
Does it have to be
take
this
it?
up to us?
I think I've seen this one online.
Don't tell me.
It's kind of a, see, it's like there are different islands, so to say, like one of those, how do you call it, like Mauritius and so on.
Yes.
To me, this reminds the biological textbooks from the 8th class. This some looks like a cell, I think, or some biological stuff.
Give me.
You know what else it looks like, Typhon? You know those charms, the Turkish charms that you get? And it's like a blue circle, and then it has a bit of white in it.
Yes.
It looks a little bit like that
The
as well.
devil's eye. Yeah.
It's
But to
Turtles,
protect you,
guys.
no?
To protect you
To
from,
protect
but
you
it's called a devil's eye because
Yeah.
it is to protect you from those bad eyes around you, so to say.
our turtles.
It's like
And the sea.
the map, it's a territory, and there is a, how do you call
Cross.
how do you call it, a treasure.
Your microphone is here.
I will say hunting. And a beak down there. Like a bird. And this beak.
But the Greek eye, the eye is blue, and this is green.
This looks like a brain, I think.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to connect it to the complexity theory, but
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too complex.
It looks like, neurons and all the signals exploding there.
Well, the idea coming to my mind is diversity, because these are different dots of different colors. They are all around the world, like people
Yes.
of different nationalities with religious, cultural background,
Yes.
all around the world. But they create one complex system, and all the elements are dependent on each other.
could also stand for the environment of an organization, like all the changes which are happening.
See this picture as a growth. To me, this is like two trees which are going up, and there are like it's like a history. You can see different periods of history.
He's like,
There are
he's
more
enjoying.
successful and more, I would say, broad from the point of view of meaning and contents period of histories, and there are maybe some less content, including periods, but it's all the time it's growing and going up.
Two history made, so two parallel history.
Or you can say that it's a man and a female line
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
of the
you
colors.
can-
If we use this stereotype of blue to be a man.
But do you
red
think
to be
there's an endless development, or there's a goal at the end, or is it a development in itself?
There is always goal, and once you have achieved one goal, you put forward another goal, and you go to further goals. So it's hopefully endless development.
Yes.
Okay.
Good, so sustainability will prevail.
Yeah.
The word will not end.
The history says so.
Yeah. Or the painting says so.
Like there are two main paths here, which are different than each other and stated with the colors, but in some ways they merge.
They're interconnected.
They're connected, and also they go abroad of their own horizon, so to say here. Like I also see kind of a fight between these two here. You see?
Yeah,
And
it's like a bird picking. Yeah, like a bird picking. Yeah.
Everybody's seeing bird
That's the
now.
first thing that I saw that there are birds.
Yes.
No, for me it's more like two civilizations. Suppose culture developed, it will never becomes one. It will always like a parallel. So culture, civilizations, and you may interact with each other, but to the end you have your own root.
Interact or clash? I'm just thinking about Tafiken.
Clash of Clans.
Yeah,
Clash
clash of civilizations. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I might be interested if we have different constructions of the pictures in our mind because of our different cultural roots.
Yeah. Our
What
stories.
affects our social mental construction? What affects our mental images? And are the constructions we have different depending on the culture? Do we see pictures differently, not only by the individual, but also by the culture?
I believe it is more personal than culture. People from the same culture can see absolutely different animals here. For example, some see a water turtle, I see a bird, and so I guess it's more about what we have gone through personally in our life. Like, it reminded me of the honeymoon trip. It's kind of gave another idea, I guess, for Kirill or for Agne. It was.
And I think it's also a question of momentum. Like, what are you feeling right now that gives the meaning of the painting for you? Because if it's tomorrow, I can feel something else as well.
But definitely, in some ways, culture also has a different, giving a different meaning of things and interpretations we would do. I guess culture also would play a role in it, but mainly personal, I'd say.
And I think still it's connected like to the mental models, like to your experiences, which you kind of connect with a picture. For example, this picture here with all the colors reminds me on my kindergarten time. And the first time I really got in trouble in my life was in kindergarten, and we had to paint a big picture. I had like this white, huge paper, like, more or less this picture here, and we were not allowed to mix the colors. And first I didn't mix them up, but at the end I thought it's way more fun to mix the colors. And it was my first time I got really in trouble. So I love this picture. I know I have a connection to it.
Then also this brings up the question of why an artist should perform an art. Just to sell it, or just to express his or her emotions or the feelings? You know, it is.
Yeah,
it's more personal interest.
Yeah.
I mean, the personal interest drives you also to paint and also to see the painting.
And that's why a lot of artists comes to an age of crisis, because they are confused if they need to do this because they need to sell, and then the people expect them to produce, to have the paintings and so on, or they are painting for the passions. There is plenty of stories that go crazy because of this.
Just to be understood, do you think, or just to create? For example, in this setting here, there are 3 paintings, right? What was the really motive behind the painter to bring these things into being? It is just to be understood, do you think, or is it just to express his feeling in that moment, or it was something like a message that he wanted to give?
I'm sure that he had a message, or there is a message in every picture, but for us it's difficult to understand because we see, based on our mental models, another picture, a different picture.
That makes it interesting.
It's a process of interpretation.
Exactly.
I don't know exactly what the message is, but I feel it somehow. That's why I can see turtles, but he doesn't want to send me turtles in a painting.
That's what you're saying in the community, in the arts. The artist is not responsible for clearly communicating what he wants to tell the consumers.
Yeah.
I think he wants to invoke or to provoke in the audience the same feeling that he was feeling when he was painting. And that's it, not a rational message, but the feeling.
Just the feeling.
Yeah,
you see these pictures, would you regard them as Western, or would you regard this as a global language?
I would regard this as global because I have never, in my mind, my perception about Western paintings have also not been like this.
Yeah, but
So for me, it's more about paintings that I would understand,
Yes.
or people would understand. In the beginning, I said I can relate this more to India, but now I feel more than this. This relates more to India.
Why?
It's just the change of perception because the colors. I find it more colorful, more attractive. Secondly, it's more collective for me. I think this is trying to be too different, separate, but that brings me more closer. and the colors just attract me more than this now. So I feel I'm more closer to this than this painting. So it just changed because I've just been watching this for some time and I relate more to this.
But
comfortable.
you know, Sunan is looking at this picture. Now she
Change
prefers
place.
this picture.
This picture.
And
think
I
we should-
was first looking at this picture. Now I'm sitting here looking at this picture, and my attitude changed also
Changed,
in this direction.
So we should
maybe
change our places and look at the
Yeah,
third one.
yeah.
Well,
it's
but
interesting.
still-
Because
I
obviously
am
the pictures
staring
are
there.
influencing
I've
our.
No, this is
attitude.
too cold for me.
We can try.
I wouldn't.
We
Yeah,
can try.
it's
Clear?
too cold.
But I don't have
Let's change.
Let's change it.
Yeah, we changed
We
it.
change.
We will look.
Let me see the cold
I want to look at my honeymoon.
I don't want to sit close to Creole anymore.
Okay.
And this is something else. Normally in a museum you have the name of the paintings. And now here we don't know the name. And the name, knowing the name influenced our interpretation. Because
Exactly,
if
yeah.
it was written here like
Turtles.
everybody will see turtles right away.
Yeah, of course. I would like now to know the title of the pictures.
You can
Because-
name it as you wish.
But what it was the main message of the artist?
Yeah.
That would be now really interesting.
You can try to discover.
Well, we tried that.
So here I would really say satellite picture islands.
Islands.
Yeah.
I would say
Maybe
turtles.
clouds.
Clouds.
Yeah, the white
A
one,
picture- a
clouds
picture
around
from-
islands. You sometimes have these clouds.
Yeah, the weather fortune things. Yeah.
yeah.
Typhoon.
Yeah. I see a typhoon around Japan. There.
I think this is a
Lovely.
picture that needs an awful lot of time.
But this one does not
just
make
sitting
me
there,
eat cheese.
taking
So-
your coffee,
Yeah,
letting
yeah.
your brain flow, and it's like a brain. So it's like these.
This one makes me
emotions.
nervous.
I would call it fantasy.
I really like to be this one to be in my study room because what the original idea is I see speed and I see complexity. So
Yeah.
it's the speed and the complexity which makes you nervous and excited. That's why I want to put it in the study room. And which for Barbara, she said it's a place supposed to be quiet. Okay.
They're all really nice. They all evoke different feelings, of course, in me. But I would really want to have this one more in my life. Let's say it is where I see every day. Really, it really gives me a peace. Even though it is when you see it, it is this complexity that should kind of make you think of different things, and so it kind of disturb you, so to say. But it's the other way around. It is not disturbing. It's really giving me peace, and I like to look at it. I don't know. It's maybe because of the colors, that the way it's structured. I like this one, and this different paths of two different entities, so to say, but they are over the time. It's really connected to each other. It's even this. You see this kind of this conflict or and so on. It's really also. Also really nice. But I would. Would go for this too, and I would, I'm more impressed with this one.
I would like to bring back to the topic of our class, and I think this is the construction of nature. What I really love, the water, the islands, the woods, and this is something to be preserved. And this is the construction of society. Dynamic, running on the brain, so the society as a connected brain, and dynamics, as you said, and I think this is so to say closing. To say it's these are the brackets around our topic, so to say, and that's why I in focus, and I have this one in my back currently, but this is what I have in focus as two polarities.
Yeah, also.
For me, this is more of life, what we go through every day.
Yeah.
So there is vibrance. I mean, you have to move on with all the things that you have, what you face. Everyone faces. So something I feel that's just life that moves on. This is very quiet and peaceful for me for some reason. And I find this very complex to understand, to interpret. But for me, I think this is just about life.
Yeah, I also would choose this picture to take home probably if I could choose one, because I love the warmth of the picture, and as Sonali, I would agree, I kind of see the stages of life we go through. And this here, connection to the class or the model or the, our study lectures, I would say I see here the leadership position or the leader and the environment which is so complex, and every day it's something new is appearing you have to deal with.
I think the idea of the setting is very interesting. And like an example of this is like how I get to know Chow. Like even if this picture is very intense, has this speed and so on, he would like to have in the living room in this study room show that he has a point of contradiction in himself. And this is nice for me. I like to know that you contradict the pattern of the things. Because for me, your image was like, okay, quiet this, quiet decoration. But no, you can have a very disturbing picture in a very quiet place. It's nice. So, yeah, just an example how you get to know people when you start talking about things.
You are the loudest.
I always, this seems like...
Any other opinion?
Yeah.
I have a general impression. I very much enjoyed this 1 hour and a half because I experienced real art. I believe that every human being has a need to express, and some people express it via writing, another are just talking with another people. Some things you cannot express via language, body language, spoken language, and here the space where art comes into play. And I think that when the painting becomes a masterpiece, when the decoded message is understood by recipient, and the great idea, great thought is perceived by recipient and shared. And I enjoyed a lot. This is a real art for me.
What I really enjoyed about this setting is that we are 7 different cultures get together and try to make sense out of this common thing in front of us, and it was interesting. And secondly, that I can imagine the artist in this case to paint it in that moment. You know, you can really try to tap into it and try to understand what could have been behind this painting, what was the message in it, and it is really interesting to kind of focus yourself into it. And yeah, I pretty much enjoyed the session today, and it was enriching.
We don't try.
Okay.